All right, am I live now? Okay. Oh my goodness, guys. That was ridiculous. I didn't realize that I would that I would okay, just to back up, because I am just going too far ahead of myself. My name is Sarah Gallagher. I am the founder of Widowed Solo Parenting. I did this huge presentation about 30 minutes long to show you how to help organize your brain when you have widow's fog, to get it all out and organized properly. And I realized after the fact there was no sound. Apparently, my microphone was not plugged in. Yay! You know what? Stuff happens, right? And if anything, this is really why it's important for me to talk to you about this. Because as you know, as a solo widowed parent, we have all the stuff that keeps going on, and we have so much stuff that's going through our head. How do you get it out? And how do you help yourself go forward? So without further ado, I am going to launch right in because I've already done this. Maybe I can use that as a prep point. Let's go in. I actually got deleted all my notes, so I'm going to go this fresh. You guys are lucky do. So I'm going to go. I want to show you. Actually, let me back up again. I'm all the befuddled because of this. So I don't know if you've seen any of my emails. If you're not on my email list, I would love you to be part of it. If you do become part of my email list, the first thing you're going to get is a freebie, which is how to deal with sudden triggers in public. It is probably one of the best things that I've actually created over the past couple years as being a widow mentor and solo parent coach. I would like to introduce myself very briefly. Again, I'm the founder of this free group, which is Widowed Solo Parenting. It's a huge, massive group. I also have other resources for you to be able to help you depending on where you are in your grief journey and what your capabilities are, both mentally, physically, and financially. I have this group. I have a membership site called Rise Like a Phoenix, which is specifically for widows who are ready to move forward and want to live life again. That is a paid membership group. It is very small, compact. We get together weekly. It's fantastic. I have resources when it comes down to courses for you to help not only with your grief and your widow life, but also with solo parenting. I have stuff to help your kids through their grief. I have been doing this since 2014. I was a widow. I was widowed when I in 2000. Sorry, I was 2014 when I was a widow. When I became a widow, I was 37 years old. My husband was 40. My daughter wasn't yet born yet, and my son was 2.5 years old. It was a lot, and it was something that I was never expecting. He actually died from a sudden cardiac arrest. I came home to find him. That was fun. I went through a lot of trauma. I went through all of a sudden. I'm a widow at 37, which I wasn't expecting. Obviously, I also I was not expecting to be a solo parent. I mean, that wasn't what we signed up for when we got married. I had a lot of guilt. For not being there for him. I had a lot of anger. I had a lot of confusion. I had all this widow's fog. And on top of all the overwhelm of being a widow, I also had to be a solo parent, which, as you know, is a completely different thing altogether. And having those two pass together is especially hard. So I started coaching and mentoring in 2018, where I started creating all this stuff. This particular resource or this training that I'm going to be teaching you here is something that I've developed over the years. I started doing it when I was still in my widow's fog. I have used it throughout when I got through that. And even now as a solo parent, I still use it because with the overwhelm of even being a solo parent at all, there's a lot of stuff that goes on. This is my system that helps me and will help you figure it all out. Okay. And the reason why it's different is because I have a widowed solo parent perspective that a lot of other planners when they are put together don't have. So I have specifically created this for us going through our widow's fog, trying to take care of all the stuff. So without further ado, let me share my screen. I want also to explain to you and to make sure that you know that this is something that is not unique. As you go through the week, if you go through your life, you're going to have a lot of stuff going on. And let me tell you about my own experiences. So even just this Monday morning, my kid went off to school and I had this sigh of relief that I can, after the craziness of the weekend, I can enjoy my coffee knowing that someone else has to keep my kids accountable, take care of all the little tasks they have to do at school, and I can enjoy my coffee for a few sips. Let me do that here. So, but after that happens, the reality of the week sets in, and I realize I have all these tasks that have to be are undone that I didn't get to last week. There's all this overwhelm with all this yet to do stuff, and it threatens to completely overshadow everything. And I'm like, what the heck was I supposed to do today? And I want to talk about widow fog and how to overcome this overwhelm. So, on top of the day to day solo parenting tasks, we're also dealing with grief. Widow fog is real. These days, where grief feels like this heavy cloud, it muffles all our thoughts and makes things completely hard to focus properly. And it makes even the simplest task seem insurmountable. As solo parents, it is vital to acknowledge these moments and to equip yourself with these strategies to help navigate through them, as our kids are relying on us to keep their calendar straight, let alone our own. The overwhelm and the struggle is real, guys, right? We also need to know where to expend our precious energy most efficiently. We only have so much energy, especially when we're going through all the grief and all the emotions. Even if we're going past all that and you have more of a control over it, there is still so much that we have to get done. There's only so little energy that you have. I need you to be aware of that, and this is going to help you figure that out. This is why a planner can be such an essential tool for you. Creating a planning system, it can be this clarifying kind of path through this fog. Your widow's fog is almost like a beacon of light that goes through it, and it's especially important for you to have this as a support system because your dear spouse isn't there to provide that support that you're used to. You don't have that backup. You don't have someone to pat you on the back. You don't have someone to keep you on track. This is why a planner becomes essential to keep you on task without losing your mind. Now, it's more than just a tool. It's this lifeline that helps you organize your thoughts and your tasks and your priorities and provides a structured roadmap when everything feels chaotic. This can be used as a small step for when you're dealing with day to day, when you're dealing with a week to week and a month, and it helps you when you go backwards like that and then you go forward. I'll show you all this how this works and how when we go forward. I want you to also realize that we need to be careful of our own time. We also have to make share of our own mental health, which means using a planner can be an incredible self-care tool. Self-care isn't just rose petals in the bath. It's not just manicures and pedicures and taking that break, because really, when's the last time you had a nice relaxing bath? I know even now, my kids are older. They're now in grade 1 and grade 7. It is still difficult for me to have a relaxing bath because they're still knocking at the door to get my attention. It's so hard, right? It is so important to have this planner because it actually gives you that kind of a mental break. Having this plan encourage you to give yourself grace. It takes stock of your achievements, which is so important to do, and it helps you plan with intention. And when you're going through that widow fog, it is hard to give yourself that pat in the back. It is hard as a solo parent who thinks there's all this stuff to have to realize that I can do this. I can go forward. I can make these plans. I can have this work out, even giving yourself the grace that maybe it won't, right? And we're going to talk about this. It's a simple act of self-love that can make a significant difference in your journey moving forward. So I want to explain to you how this works. And I'm going to use this template of what I've created over the past few years, over the past 9 years now. I've been solo parenting and going through all this grief. I'm going to show you this as a template you can create your own system and how this can help you. Okay, so let me a sec. So this is a widow's priority planner. I created this over years and I've rejigged it over time. This is the most updated one we have right now. And let me go through. So the first thing I'm going to do is I want you to brain dump. Okay, I want you to write out all the stuff that needs to be done. I need you to put down exactly what is going on. And I actually had all these little notes in here because of the last time completely erased it. I don't even think it's up there anymore. No. Okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to add a comment here. So what's the thing? Let's get it all out. Stuff I have to get done. Oh, not a comment. That's the wrong thing. I need to figure out summer vacation camps, vacations and camps. It is probably late right now. I don't know where this is right now. It's in the back of my head. I know I have an email out there. I have to get out there. I need to figure that out, which on top of that, I got to figure out March break camps. We're doing something on the fly here now, guys. That's two things that I have to get done. What else in my head? Oh, I have to deal with these. Whoops. My school council minutes. So I am the secretary for our kids' school council. It's a way that I can actually be part of the community. It's creating my own little village because, as you know, as a solo parent and a widow, you need to break into a new village. This is my way to do that. It's also important for me not just to know how to support my kids through their own extracurricular activities. It also helps me feel like I'm more than just a mom. It makes me feel like I'm actually doing something, which is why being a secretary, again, a project management background, it's perfect for me. What else has to get done? Oh, I have to do the groceries. That happens all the time. That has to get done, which means I have to do the meal planning. And there's something else that's coming up. Oh, I gotta do my son. Oh my, has horrible bed sheets. So I have to clean the disgusting bed sheets. Okay. So let's put that down. These are all the things that come up. And some of them actually came up even when I woke up at 3:00 in the morning, which sometimes still happens, waking me up and like, I have to do all these things. So if I sit there and whether it's in a waking time or if it's in the middle of the night, if I'm doing something, I want you to keep this on you, this brain dump on you to write down. Right now, we're going to put down everything you want. This again. I'm so very excited about this, guys. As you can tell, I'm very energetic. I want you to break down everything. Just get them out. Get them onto paper. Let's go that forward. Okay. The next thing you want to do, you want to prioritize them to different itemize. You want to itemize them into big, medium, and small tasks. Some of these are going to be routine, like the weekly and monthly ones. And then you're also going to think, and I don't want you to think about whether you're putting down too much stuff. You are not. Getting this all out is important. So I want you to break this down. So as I go through, I'm going to put down, let's do it right here. So let's see what is a big thing. So the one thing that's a big thing that has to get done. I'm going to say clean, a big thing that has to get done. You know why I put down? I forgot. I put down bunny. I gotta get a bunny cage / housing. So I actually got this bunny cage for my daughter for Christmas. I found out that it's not big enough and I have to get a new one. So that's really a big task because it's a lot of planning and where am I going to put it in the house, blah, 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 because now I need bigger space. I'm going to put that as a big task. So I'm going to put that as an orange. Okay. So this is my big task. A medium task, I would say more like that's going to see us blue. A medium task would be the March breaks camps, summer camps. I can kind of lump them together. That's a medium task. And then the small tasks, I'm going to say, the meal planning is a small task and the groceries. And then I'm going to even put a second one here. Yeah, well, I can't do this. A second one here, clean the disgusting bed sheets. I'm going to put that as a nice to have. So clean the disgusting bed sheets. And the reason why I'm putting this as a nice to have is because as you're going through this, it helps getting all out, and then you separate it into all these different areas. The cleaning the disgusting bed sheets, I can delegate that out. Like, honestly, these are my kid's bed sheets. He can take care of his own bed sheets. He's the one complaining about it. He's 12 years old. He can figure this out. You need to make sure that you don't give yourself too much at the same time. So once you get it all out, break it down. What is the most important thing? What's the biggest thing? What's the medium thing? What's the small things? And then what can you delegate out? Okay. And I don't want you to feel guilt about this if you have to delegate out. So the next thing we're going to do, I want you to go through, I want you to organize these thoughts into a more productive way. This sheet I want you to use a sheet like this to be a living document that you're going to be added to throughout the month. This is actually going to be in coordination with this one up here, the brain dump. I want you to keep these on you at all the time, because as you come through the month, the week, the day, you're going to have these things that come up that you are not planning for, that need to be taken care of. And this is why this document kind of style, this system works better for us. It's not like this is what has to happen all the time. This is a living document. These are going to shift as your priorities shift, as things shift. So let's do us first. What do I have to do first? Absolutely. I have to call up I got to figure out summer break camps. And the reason why I got to figure out summer vacations and camps is because they just sent me an email this morning that I have to confirm within an hour, to let them know whether I want this spot. So that's the first thing I have to do. Secondary thing I'm going to put down is the grocery shopping, because we have some work. We actually do have meals today. We do have meals for tomorrow. After that, not quite sure of. So that's a secondary thing. The next thing that happens after that, I'd say it's a nice to have. I'm going to put down the bed sheets again. And you know what? I'm gonna get rid of that altogether. I'm gonna put in a nice to have is to figure out the rabbit cage, because it's something that's be nice, but it's not really a priority. So this is what you're gonna prioritize as you go through all the different things, and then we'll go to this miss things aspects later on. So just right now, I want you to worry about these first two here. The next thing you're gonna do is you're gonna break this down to your monthly overview. This is, as you go through this, you're going to find out, we're going to see that we're going to be taking these tasks and we're going to make them more granular. We're going to make them into simpler steps that you can get your head around. Training your brain to process this is actually very important, because otherwise you're going to be overwhelmed with all this stuff. This is something I've not just a system for myself that I've used. I've been a project manager for over 20 years. 13 years of this was in content, educational content. So I'm used to having to deal with all those priorities all the time. This is something that can work as an actionable tool for you. Okay. So the first thing you're going to do for a monthly overview, you're going to put down the events. Your events, like for here, I'm going to put down in March, we have March break. We have, obviously we just talked about that. We have, what else is coming up? Oh, we have Alex's birthday. That's another event that's coming up. And then what else do I have to do this month? Well, back here, I talked about the fact that I need to figure out the summer camps. That's a big thing. So we're going to do the summer camps, have to get done this month. We've already discovered this. What else do we have to do? Back up here. Let's go back up to the priorities here. This month, we also have to, I would love, honestly, this month to do a monthly planning. So let's do a meal planning for the month, so we know that what's going on. We have it all set out. And then aside, I actually have something to help you with that as well. It's a meal planner. And again, it works for widows with their widow brain, with the grief brain. Instead of taking the bigger, higher end items with the idea of, oh, we have this meal and how am I going to get there? It's too many steps backwards. I kind of flipped it on its head, and we start with what you already have in your kitchen, in your pantry, and what can we use from that to create a meal? What's on sale? How can we incorporate that? And then these are the meals. So if you want some more information about that resource, let me know. I can get it to you. What's coming up months on? These are just the month must do this month. I'm just going to put down that really quick. Oh, Alex's birthday. I got to do the birthday party planning. What are we going to do? I don't know. I have an idea, but I got to do that this month. That's really important. The other thing I have to do, I got to do the month minutes for the meeting. Minutes. I'm gonna put down the minutes here. That has to get done every month. I know about that already. The other thing that has to get done is that I have to schedule my kids have a big brother and a big sister. I gotta schedule when they're coming in so I can figure out what's going on for the rest of my month. So we're gonna schedule that in. That's just what else is coming up this month. Must do this month. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna move the birthday party to. Actually, no. I'm put must do that last month. So I'm gonna put them. That's coming up this month is Alex's birthday. Again, I mean, this is just examples. You can put your own things in there as you go along. So that just breaks it down. Okay, this is the what's going on. So the next thing is going to come out. You're the monthly planner, and I actually had this all set up. I think let me check when the first date was. The first was on Friday. So you're going to go through here every month. You're going to put down. This is the March. You're going to put down this Thursday. This is the first. You're going to go all the way to the 31st. And I know this already because I had to do this first. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Is it 12 there? I think it's 12. Let me check something else really quick. So I actually have this other planner that I love using. Let me just check that really quick. And I'll actually show you what that looks like in a sec, just because it's fun. Where is it? Let me stop sharing this for a sec. So if you want more information at this one, I would love to share that as well. I'm going to add another screen. Share screen. There we go. So this is my 3-month planner. I've put this together here too. You can sign here. I've kind of, it's the January. This is my 3-month. Don't worry. Again, I'm going to talk about this about the 3-month, but as you probably know, it is so tough to see even on a daily basis what you're doing, or even a minute to minute. If you're first going through your fog, you can't even think about a quarterly planner yet. That is cool. This is just what I've been putting together. Again, I'm 9 years into this. If you are at that point where you want to get this as an extension to the planner, let me know. So this is just going. So we have March break. Oh, it is the 11th. I did that wrong. So 11th, I'm going to go stop sharing this for a sec. I'm all over the place. I'm so excited about this, guys. Let me go back and share another screen. Let's go back to, where is it? There we go. Planner. Okay, so we know here. What did I say? I'm just going to go back to this other one here. It was the 11th was the Monday, so let's change this to an 11th. And I know here, stop it. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. This is 17th. Let's make sure. Let's look at my calendar. I guess it's 17th. I should know this, but this is why I have to write it down, right? What the heck, my document? No, 11. I'm so bad at math today, apparently. This is the 15th. Okay, this is March break. So I'm going to go through with a pen. Okay, well, you're going to take this, and you're going to take a pen, and you're going to mark down, what all the events are, the non-negotiables, things you can't do anything about. This is just the way it is like this. I would love that school starts and it ends right around this point. I'm going to stop it. Oh my God. Stop. There we go. All this is March break. That's going to be in red. That's non-negotiable. The 7th, what else is that we just talked about? My daughter's birthday. That's on the 27th. That's on a, I got, I'm going to put it here. I don't know if that's the case because I had this all done before, but that's a non-negotiable. That's Alex's birthday. That's something I can't do with. Put everything in pen that you know is something that's a non-negotiable. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to put down, and pen, and you're also you're gonna highlight all the events and what you can non-negotiables. The next thing you're gonna put down is pen is the stuff that needs to get done. But it's a little bit more like you can kind of move around a little bit, but this is what you're gonna focus on. So I also know that on Fridays I have our Phoenix group. It's pretty much a set. I can't really more or less I can't change it. Unless, let's say, my kid gets sick. Let's say on Tuesday here, my kid gets sick, so I can't do the Friday. That's going to move over here to Thursday or Thursday instead. Actually, no, I'll make it to Monday, or I'll do just later on in the afternoon. Let's say I'm going to do that. I'm going to move it to the later on in the afternoon because I need a little bit more time to prep for it because my kid was sick on Tuesday. Pen is, again, something you can, this is the stuff you can kind of break down for what you have to do. The next thing you want to do is take a pencil, and these are the nice things that we would like to do, but they're not necessarily, they don't have to be done right now, and they're going to move around as things as you go through the month. Okay. At the end of the month, you're going to go through this. You're going to figure out what worked and what can you improve. And this, we're going to go on further on with this with another sheet specifically for this. The next thing you're going to do is break it down even more. So write down your weekly priorities. What exactly do you need to get done this week? Now we know every week I have to figure out the meal planning. So I'm going to put down that I also have to go grocery shopping. That has to happen too. That has to happen every week. And I know those are the priorities that can't be shifted. When am I going to do this? This is when I look back here on my calendar and where are the big events? So I know that, for instance, this month in March, the only thing I really can't move around right now I'd like to is a Friday. So I'm not going to put really anything there big to do on Friday. So instead, I'm going to put down here on Wednesday, I'm going to do the grocery planning here because I also know that's when I'm getting a food delivery. I get something called the Odd Bunch, and it is a delivery of vegetables which are imperfect. It's a big box of them. I get them. I got a whole bunch of stuff. Like it's a big box for like $35. It's incredible. It's at least like $100 worth. Well, maybe not $100, but $75 worth of veggies and fruits. It's here local in Toronto. It's called the Odd Bunch. If you want to look into it, if you're local, it's fantastic. This is when I'm doing the groceries. So everything that I know I'm not getting for the Odd Bunch, I'm going to add here to my Wednesday grocery list. The other reason why it's here is because the grocery meal planning, as you said, back here, I put it in the meal planning for months. Once I get into the actual week, I don't really know what I'm getting for the Odd Bunch until Wednesday. So once I understand what's happening in the morning, I'll do grocery shopping in the afternoon. Anything that doesn't get done, let's say here I want to work on the bunny thing, right? I want to say, okay, bunny, it's a monthly thing. I want to put down every week. I'm going to try to like, this is what I'm going to be working on for the bunny thing. If the bunny thing doesn't work out, I'm going to push it to next week. So I'm actually going to put a little line here that says, hey, I don't like this. This doesn't work. I did that again. This is going to move down here. Okay. As you figure things out, this is the other thing which I think is very important that we don't give ourselves credit for. We are very good at saying, I didn't get that done. We need to give ourselves grace. We need to give ourselves pats on the backs on as routine basis as possible. So as you get things done, I want you to click it off. I did that. I am amazing. It sounds like a small thing, but sometimes trying to find the time to make the meal plan can be tough, right? The next thing I want to do is that you're going to take those things and you're going to break it down. So for here, I'm going to put down what are the things I have to get done. Today is the March. I'm going to use today as an example, 22nd. Today we had this live. That didn't happen as an example. So what actually happened, let's say it's pretty much 12 right now. So I'm going to put down the live here. Live, and I'm going to put down, that just happens, right? So this didn't get done. I'm going to delete that here. Actually, no, what I'm going to do here, I'm going to strike it down. I'm going to put that back because I did it. I have to do it again. That's okay. I live and learn, right? So do you. We're figuring this out, guys. Nobody really has a guide. This is going to help you just try to figure things out at the same time. All right. So this moved down here. The other thing that happened, I can't even do this now. The other thing that's going to be going on later on is I have a meeting at 7:00 for a grief and autism research call. Oh my God, sorry, autism research call. I can't type and think at this and present at the same time. I am doing a series on how grief and autism present is very different than normal grief, especially in our kids. And as you probably know, kids grieve differently as well. So it's trying to combine those two into an idea. I'm not saying I have all of the answers for autism and grief, but I'm reaching out to people who have experience with this, get their questions, get what they would like to know more of, and just to research things out. If you'd like to be part of this, do let me know. I'm setting up calls for this week and next, maybe into the week after. I like to do it for like this week and next for sure. Where we can talk about it. And then at the very end, I'm going to create some kind of resource as a guide, as a framework for the base level to have you understand what, give you something work, because there's nothing out there, guys, or not, just very little. Let's try to put things together. Anyway, that's what I have to get done. To-do list. We've already knows already I have to go grocery shopping. So that's a to-do. Priorities. I would also put those as for here, I will put down like, how would you prioritize your to-do list if this becomes too much? Groceries have to come up. I had to prep for this meeting. So if anything, I'm going to put this as a number one priority. So if you see here, I'm actually kind of taking it and breaking it down even more, even with the priority reshifting. And again, this could check. All of a sudden, the meal plan is going to go away because number two is all of a sudden become redo this presentation, right? This happens. Life happens. What happens if all of a sudden your kid shows up and he's like, oh, Mom, I forgot there is a project due tomorrow. I got to get done. That all of a sudden turns to a to-do. kid project. And that's going to probably be coming after, honestly, that's where the groceries, because the groceries have to get done. Sorry, kid. People also have to take care of themselves. I already got this planned. I will help you, but it's not the priority. And homework, because he's 12 again. My little kid, he's in grade 1. Eventually, you'll have to deal with that too, and that's going to shift priorities as well, right? Both kids saying, I have a last minute project. How do you do that? Again, priorities. What takes more time? You can even break that down into small, medium, and little too, and like all the different categories. I mean, it sounds overwhelming, but once you get through this, breaking it down like this helps focus you on what's important and what you can do now. Now, this is probably one of the most important sheets that I would like you to do. I want you to create a priorities rejig sheet. Okay. I want you to analyze your time. At the very end of the day, if you don't have time for that, at least for the very end of the week, and then definitely at the end of the month, I want you to do an overview of what has happened. If you need to even set that out, it's a set aside time up here as every week, let's say on Saturday after swimming, because I got swimming on Saturday, in the afternoon, I am going to look at my overview to see what worked. Let me go back here. I know what worked very well. The first presentation was fantastic. I even prepped for it. It was fantastic. It was great. I'm gonna put yay, I did this. And again, I'm patting myself in the back, right? This is good. I got a good prep. What else is good? What didn't work? Well, my sound didn't work. So my sound didn't work. Whoopsies. So what can I do differently next time? I can double check my tech, which, as you probably know, happens all the time. I mean, obviously with Zoom, as can you hear me? Can you hear me? This was a simple thing. I just didn't look at it. I'm gonna put that on my checklist for things I have to get done next time. Double check that my microphone is plugged in. All right. Okay, so that's for me. As you go through this, I want you to take the idea, and this is again a project management rule that I use for myself. It is very easy at the end of the week, at the end of the month, and even at the end of the day, they go, oh my God, I screwed up. Oh my God, my kid had a meltdown. I freaked out on him. Oh my God, I was supposed to do this and it didn't happen. That happens. Life happens. I don't want you to focus on that. We are so good. Psychologically, this is true, actually. I'm talking to different social work, talking to social and personal psychology. This is very true for humankind. We're very good at beating ourselves up because we didn't do something right. I want you to be aware when something didn't work out, but I also want you to write down what worked. And by doing this, I'm taking this first presentation, the good prep work is fantastic. The sound didn't work. Let's put that into what can we do next time. I'm going to make a checklist of the things to get done. I'm going to add that to the checklist. I want you to give yourself grace. Instead of saying I did horribly, I learned from this. I can make this better next time. And the other thing that's important is say, I pat myself in the back. I did a great job, even though I screwed up the first time. I did a freaking fantastic job. I want you to realize that you've done something good. And this happens also with your kid. Sometimes it's really easy to focus on the fact that you freaked out on them first thing in the morning because they didn't get their homework done they're supposed to, right? However, you did a good job because even though you freaked out, you realized that a kid's homework is important. You've added that to something you have to get done. You've made it a priority. That's awesome. Okay, so I'm going to stop sharing my screen. I want to make sure that you understand that this is important as a self-care tool. Okay, at the end of the week, if you're done a task, mark it off. If something slips, move it to another week. If you have to, move it to another month. Priorities change all the time. And you're figuring things out on the fly too, which is why these are living document. I want you to make notes. I want you to write down. And most importantly, the living document part, the very first page where we talked about brain dumping, keep that there. Cross things out if you need to, add more to it at the very end, at the week or the month, you're going to go through all this. Life throws you curveballs, right? And you know this. We are becoming pros at juggling the mental, emotional, and practically realities of widowed solo parenting, right? Using a system like this, like the Widow's Priority Planner, it takes off your widow's fog and you're on the fly shifting priorities into account, which can take some of the pressure off. It gives you that relief. It gives you that, oh, I can do this. Especially, guys, especially if you can be good to yourself and you let your kids take some of this as well. You can delegate, right? Don't feel guilty about that. That's so important that you do. And even though I know you put this in your map as well too at the very end, maybe you have to help them redo it. That's okay. What worked? What didn't work? How can we do better? Don't just use this for yourself. Use this for your kids as well. So we're becoming really good at that, right? Create this system. Make sure this works for you. Take this as an idea. You take this video, rewatch it again, make your own list, make your own priority list with what works for you. If this work has made any sense to you, I want you to put in the comments what did make sense, what resonated with you, what can you do going forward. Okay. This is all a learning process. Also, if you have found this at all helpful, I would like you to share this with anybody else you think could use this. And this doesn't just necessarily have to be widowed solo parenting, though this is the focus. Anybody you think could use this, share it. This is for everybody. If honestly, and if this is something that they need to be part of this group, invite them. Right? If they're widowed solo parenting, you know this guy, we are fantastic as a group. I would like you to invite them. This is all for you. So this is the free resource. If you want to spend, I think it's $7 right now. I forget what it is. It's usually $10 that I have put this together. And the reason why it's $10 is because it's very focused. It's how this works. This is how I've been putting this together over years of practice. The other, I'm giving it to you because you've watched this at a discount. I believe it's $7. I had notes. It's gone right now. It is a discount for you. This is only because of this presentation. Okay, so if you've seen this, I would like you to put a comment that you would like to have a copy of this planner, and I'll send you the link. The bonus that you get if you have decide to get this planner for you is that as I refine this planner, as well I do, you're going to get the updated version as it happens. Okay. One of the things I want to do right now, as I've gone through this presentation and prep for it, I actually want to add a page where it says big, medium, and small, just to help categorize it even more. I'm also learning all the time, guys. I'm figuring things out on my own. I'm doing different research. I'm talking to other parenting coaches. I'm talking to other widow coaches. I'm putting them both together for resources for you. So if you get this planner, you're going to get updates to it. That means I would love to help. If there is anything that you think I could help you going forward, again, I've been doing this kind of stuff. I've been coaching and mentoring widowed solo parenting since 2014. It's almost been 6 years now. I have helped dozens of widows through this. This widows group now is like thousands of people big, which I'm always in here. My smaller group, the more intense one, I've helped tens. Dozens. Sorry, I'm gonna say dozens of people in there. I've helped other people with my own private one-on-one practice as well. If you want more a deep dive, I try to make things as accessible as possible. So I have like workbooks, I got resources, I got online courses, I have all of this stuff, right? Reach out. If there's anything I can help you with, I might have something to help you. I've been doing this for a while. Okay. And most importantly, I get it. Being a widow and a solo parent is such a unique thing, right? It's not just a widow. We're not 55 and going, oh my God, it's been like, I've had a wonderful life with my husband, my wife, and my kids are grown up, and we're solo parenting on our own. We've never asked for this stuff. We don't have that backup. You need backup. If this planner helps you, use it. If you need help from me personally, let me know. I got something. All right, guys, I'm going to stop from now. That is my second time doing this. I hope you got something from this. Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you soon. Love you guys. See you soon. Bye.